Hello, everybody, and welcome to MangaPod. Boop. Yay, it all worked. Oh, except you guys are still muted. It didn't all work. Wait, and now it's all working? Hello, friends?
So.
Wow,
Yay.
who are we?
I knew there had to be something
the
wrong.
Twitter or the link.
Oh.
God.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm a mess.
Nah, it's all good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to MangaPod. I am Dodger.
I'm Lou.
And I'm Moeka.
And our lovely captain of this ship, Erin, is gone this week. So we will do our best without her. Yeah, this is a weekly podcast in which we read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. This week we read Spy X Family, chapters 1 through 31. If you use like the Viz app or any of that sort of stuff, it's basically everything that is currently out for us to read right now. And so the way that this typically goes is we will read off a summary, spoiler free, just to like give you an idea of what it's about. We'll go one at a time. We'll tell you, again, in a spoiler free manner, how we felt about it, if we think that you should take the time to go and read it or not. And then you guys can skedaddle if you're like, I don't want to be spoiled on this. And then we'll go into spoiler section and it'll be a good time. So, did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it.
No, I think you nailed it.
Wonderful. Cool. All right. So Moeka is going to be the one reading our summary today. So go for it, Moeka, whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. I just picked the Viz Media one.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. Because I didn't look at it. One sec. Okay, here we go. Someone said that I am a little quiet.
Oh, let me.
Thank you.
Everybody can see me doing this. Turning you up in real time. Talk again?
Hello, testing. Am I blowing out your eardrums? Testing.
You sound beautiful to me. Chat, how do you feel?
Aww. Yes, good. It is
Wonderful.
better.
Wonderful.
Aww.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Not one to depend on others, Twilight has his work cut out for him, procuring both a wife and a child for his mission to infiltrate an elite private school. What he doesn't know is that the wife he's chosen is an assassin, and the child he's adopted is a telepath. Dun dun dun!
Dun dun dun! Wonderful. That's it. That's the thing. Yeah. So now, I guess we say how we felt about it in as spoiler-free of a manner as possible. Do we think people should read this? I can go first. I adored this. I 100% think people should read this. It's a great combination of like comedy with stakes. Like it wound up being so much fun to read, really fast, had like a really strong wholesome element while also having so many moments where you're just like, oh fuck. So yeah, I thought it was great. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and piggyback off of it. It's really good. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would.
Same.
I've heard good things about this manga for a while now, and but the premise of it seemed like it was a bit too I don't know, contrived.
Mm-hmm.
But it really works. Like it's such a good time, and I think what makes it so enjoyable is that all the characters are just so fun to read.
Yes.
Like it's like if the character writing wasn't as strong, then this wouldn't be a good manga. But because the characters are mainly a little telepath girl, and you're more so than Twilight. Twilight's still pretty cool, but the other two like really make this a fun read.
They're like the heart of it.
Yeah. Whereas Twilight is, very serious and, but like it's very wholesome when he finds value beyond the mission and having a family. So yeah, this is a great read. Highly recommend.
Now it's my turn.
It is.
I wholeheartedly recommend it as well. I fell in love with all the characters. I'm just like a sucker for like the everyone comes together and makes their own little family trope, and so it's just like, oh, my heart. Yeah, I've been wanting to read this for a really long time, but like Lou said, it when you read about it and like it sounds so contrived. So I was just, for the longest time, I was just like, I'll read it later when I don't have anything else. So finally, I'm glad we read this. And I also forgot to put it that I wanted to read it for my MangaPod, but I'm glad I did, because I don't know how I would have felt waiting so long to read this.
Yeah. Cool. We all 100% think that you should go and read this. I'm going to assume, going by Erin's tastes, that she also adored this manga. Not to put words in her mouth. She didn't say whether or not she liked it, but I'm going to assume. Yeah. So if this sounds like it would be your jam, if you trust us and our opinions, definitely go and read it. It is seriously like such a quick read. It's easy to find. But if you want to stick around and hear us go a bit more in depth about how we felt about it, that's what spoiler section is, and we're about to do that. I guess like there are a couple more chapters past where we are that you can find. So I guess don't spoil those. But we read everything that is on the Viz app and everything that is like readily available. So don't need to worry about it too much. Right?
Yep.
Right.
Cool. Just making sure I'm not lying, you know. Okay, so spoiler section in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Maybe Anya's God? I don't know. I have to think about this.
There are lots of good characters, man. The Doggo is God. What's his name? Bond?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bond.
Yes. Bond is God.
Yeah.
He's so cute. Okay, yes. Let's start with our normal question. We all kind of said that we weren't necessarily expecting to like it this much, but if anybody wants to go more in depth about what they thought this manga was going to be and what it wound up being.
Yeah, but before we do that, I'm down to do that. But do we pronounce the X for this manga? Is it a Hunter x Hunter situation?
I do, but I also say Hunter x Hunter. So
okay.
I don't think it's supposed to be read.
Probably not.
Who knows?
I just needed to get that out there first.
That's fair. Chat, decide for yourself. Wait a minute. Anybody who's not watching this live is going to be really missing out. I'm going to run a poll. New poll. Do we pronounce the X? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, wonderful. So we'll see how chat feels. Anyways.
See, I can make one argument for why we should pronounce the X, is that we're shipping the spy with the family. So there we go.
Yeah,
oh my god, yeah. I agree.
Fair. I do ship the spy with the family.
Right.
I also find the conceit that there are just spies literally everywhere, that they like slowly trickle out the information that there are just spies all over the place. That like that's
everyone is a spy. It's
okay. It felt like some what's that? What are those Keanu Reeves movies? The recent ones.
John Wick,
yeah.
John Wick? Yeah.
Everybody's a spy in John Wick. Anyways.
I still haven't seen John Wick.
Oh, shit. You should watch it.
Yeah.
They're great.
Going into this manga, like, the conversation has always been, oh, it's very cute, very wholesome. It's a lot of fun. But then, you know, they start to tell me, oh, well, it's about a spy who has to develop a relationship with an assassin, and then they end up with a kid. that is telepathic. Now here's the thing. If I just look at the first two parts of that, which is the spy and the assassin, I immediately jump to Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
And I was expecting to have a bunch of Mr. and Mrs. Smith moments, but what completely derails that and makes me not want to, like, made me going into this not want to take this seriously is the fact that there's a child who can read minds.
Yeah.
Which I think really helped in telling the story. And I think what also really helped make this I guess a fun read is the fact that well, normally when you see a child that's in an orphanage, they tend to be a little bit more reserved, and it tends to be the parent who's trying to bring them out. But in this case, it's, you know, Anya that's trying to strengthen the family bonds and keep everyone together. And like, I think the fact that I'm so invested in her succeeding and maintaining and strengthening those relationships is why, like, these initially low expectations that I had for the manga were able to be subverted. In other words, like, it all really hinges on her ability to make me root for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely thought that I thought that from the start it was going to be an already established family dynamic. Like, this guy is already married with a kid. I hadn't read the summary, so I thought the kid was just like a normal ass cute kid. From the like promo picture that you see at the very start of the manga. And I was like, oh man, it's about like two spies or two assassins or something, and they don't know about each other, but they've been married for years because they have a kid. And I love that that's not at all what it was. It's like a freaking like comedy of errors from the get-go of him just being given a mission like, hey, we need you to infiltrate this school to get to this person. It's a matter of like war or not war, potentially. We need you to have a kid who enrolls there and gets top marks within like a few months. And he's like, I don't have a child. Like, it was like such a good starting point of just like, here's this badass spy who's told like, we need you to basically play house for a little while. And
oh, speaking of his introduction, the whole thing with the toupee at the very beginning kind of like added a lighthearted element to the spy aspect of the story.
Yeah.
That I think helped set the tone really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did you feel, Moeka?
I loved it. I don't know what it is, but when we picked this, I was not expecting my entire life to revolve around spy-related things. Because, like, my boyfriend was like, hey, we should watch a movie. And I was just like, okay, sure. And then literally he picked a spy movie. And so it was just like, oh my God, everything's like coming full circle. And there was like a few other shows too where it was just like, we're gonna be spies. So I don't know, I really enjoyed this. Like, the characters are great. I definitely didn't expect it to be as comedic as it was, but I'm glad it did turn out like that. Cause holy shit. But man, you guys nailed it pretty much before.
Yeah, I think
all my thoughts as well.
Amazing. Wonderful.
Too good at this.
Yeah,
good.
The kid being a telepath at first, I was like, what? Like, when they revealed that. And then I realized, like, this is such a good vehicle for the story because she knows literally everyone's secrets. And I love that she's just young enough that when it's really, like, when she does get into the school and she does meet that dude's kid who's just like a piece of shit little snot-nosed brat, that she like doesn't like, even if she can read his mind, she doesn't entirely understand that he like kind of has a crush on her. Like, I just love it. It's just so good. Like, she's a 6-year-old, right? So it's just like, it's so funny.
Yeah, it's pretty great. What did you guys think. Well, I mean, we were talking about the setup.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the introduction of Yor and how she entered the equation?
Moeka.
Wait, sorry, say that again. My brain.
So we've already kind of discussed how Twilight and Anya met and how that was like fundamental for how this family dynamic was set up, right? Like the fact that she can read minds and it's kind of goofy, and also that the spy is a very serious guy, but not everything that happens in the spy world is very serious. So the introduction of Yor, like, you know, deadly assassin, but also like stoic at times, but also very clumsy and cute, and yeah, and how she factors in and how she met them. Like, what did you all think of that?
I thought her introduction, it felt a little weaker compared to the other two, but it works really well though, because otherwise I feel it's like, oh, she's like a super OP assassin, like who has her life and shit figured out so she can protect her identity, blah blah blah. But really it's like, no, she really is just a normal person. She just happens to excel at murdering. But I do love that she is. I mean, I love that she's normal and that she's only good at like fighting. So it's just like, oh, she's being so fucking cool, and then out of nowhere, it's just like, oh, she just tripped because not paying attention or something. That's cute.
The thing, right? Is like both of them, both Twilight and Yor are like very capable at their jobs, and then thick at everything else. Like anytime, like when she gets shot in the butt, right? And they go on a date, and the entire time she refuses to sit down and she looks miserable, and he's like, I just don't understand women, right? And you're just like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't you think there's something else going on there? And then the whole like him telling her that he's a psychiatrist, but then he gets chased by dudes associated with his mark and has to like beat the shit out of them, and he's like, it's a different form of therapy that we're trying. And way later, like 20 chapters later, she's like, oh yeah, have you seen his concussive therapy? And I'm like, oh my god, she still believes that that's what he does at his job. Like, I can't. It's so dumb.
And I would like to make one correction, Dodger. He is a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, yeah.
Oh my god,
that was a really good recurring goof. My dad is a psychiatrist. It's good.
That's pretty great. So I like Yor a lot.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that the assassin stuff would come up more.
Me too. That was something I was going to say as well, and then I forgot because I got lost in it.
Yeah, like I feel like if there was a bit more balance, because like the whole story is they both have secrets, and really we get to see Yor do really cool shit in the regular family setting, like when she kicked the shit out of a car and launched it into a telephone pole.
Yeah, she does cool shit like for Anya's sake a lot, but you're right, we don't like see her like do her job very often. And we get way more insight rather than like through her as a character. We get more insight into like why she is the way she is from her brother. I feel like
how do you guys feel about her brother?
He's a fucking weirdo, dude. Yuri.
He's a fucking weirdo.
He's a fucking weirdo, dude. It's that like sister complex shit. He's just so, I can't with him. I get it. Yeah. I get that he's like, I relied on her my whole life. I owed her so much. So now everything that I've done has been to like make sure that the world is safe for her. But like the way that they goof it is like he's literally obsessed with her. And I'm like can't you just be like a normal level protective brother? Why do you have to be this level of brother?
Well, in a flashback, it said that he wanted to marry her when he was little, and that kind of stuck with him.
But
so there we go.
I mean, I said I wanted to marry my nephew when I was 5 because I didn't understand how marriage worked.
Well, I guess that could also be. It could kind of be like they didn't grow up with their like parents, and so it was like up to Yor to like help him along, and it's like her failing at it because
right.
he doesn't realize like the repercussions of not explaining like, hey, if you want to marry a family member, here's why not. Instead, she kind of played along with it.
There's also, it's not that he doesn't want her to be with someone. Like, literally our introduction to him is him on the phone being like, I would just feel so much better if I knew that, like, because I guess sorry, this is like kind of off topic, but it is about the manga.
Okay.
I thought something that a lot of like comedy facing manga does is like, if there is a serious element, you don't get it until later. I feel like this manga has done a really good job of establishing like the kind of society that they're in, and like it comes up in little, like, I was gonna say tinkles, which I heavily associate with pee, but like, you know, it like we get little nuggets of it, but we get the idea of like there's an East versus West, and there was recently a war, and that like for one reason or another she is suspicious if at a certain age she is not married, right? And yeah, and so like our first introduction to Yuri being the conversation with him where he's like, I would just feel a lot better if you like found a nice person and like settled down or had like a partner or whatever. I don't know if we were supposed to take that as he does legitimately want her to be happy and have a family, or if it was, I work for the secret police and you need to get married. Like, I couldn't tell, like, once you find out about him, I couldn't tell if that's how that was supposed to be read. Of like, I don't want you to get married, but like, I know how this shit works now, and you should probably be with someone.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair like thing to consider. That he definitely would be understanding of people coming into suspicion, you know, since the whole idea of spies not being in or having familial attachments because they can become impediments to the mission. Like, yeah, I get that. The one thing I would say about Yuri's character is that, you know, I wish that if he was, you know, in spite of him being or having his sister complex, I kind of wish that he was more of a foil to Twilight.
Same.
Like, if he was just like, all right, in Monster, there's a detective who's you guys know who I'm talking about, right? I can't remember his fucking name.
I can't remember his name either, but I know
the guy that
like
acts like he's typing.
Yeah,
that guy. If he was more like him, personality wise, where like he's not the villain,
but he's there's like an interesting dynamic there.
Yeah, like where he's putting Twilight on edge more. I think it would be there'd be more value to him. But then again, I think that would kind of come into conflict with the comedic tone of the manga. So maybe that's why he just got drunk and was kind of dumb.
But like, I do think that they could keep with the comedic tone and have him more legitimately suspicious of Twilight, right? Like, I think he is suspicious of him, but just on the basis of like, there has to be something terrible about this guy, right? Like an extension of the Syscon stuff, instead of it being like when he first comes over, right? Twilight recognizes that he's using a scripted conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in that moment, you're like, in that moment, I really wanted him to have that moment of, I recognize that you've been trained to do something, but I also wanted Yuri to do the same thing to like notice something about Twilight and have there be a legitimate reason for him to be like, well, I'm not going to ruin this relationship because I care about my sister and I don't want her to be upset, but there's something weird about you. And you're right, we haven't ever gotten that. We just have him being like, ew, I hate when that guy's around. He sucks. So.
I agree.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah, so I guess in like order, we had Twilight, he got Anya, and then they got Yor involved. Mm-hmm. They got her into school. And I love all of the school chapters. I want more of them, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I think they're very funny. Just her being like, it's fine. I'll just read people's minds to pass my tests and then failing them anyway. Like, I just love that shit. Oh my God. And the chapter with, where they were playing dodgeball and Yor tried to teach her how to throw a ball and it was so epic. And then she just fucking threw it at the ground by accident. God, all of that stuff is so good for me. That's all so funny.
It was pretty hilarious.
And then
the really large student Billy.
Yes,
Billy.
Billy.
Like he was like 20 years old. Super like yoked. He's a very large 6-year-old. Not even 6th grader.
Not even a 6-year-old. Yeah, and we met Yuri, and I guess after that was like dog arc.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bond, who is
I love him.
Yeah, who is potentially like an extension of the same testing that created Anya, right? But on animals. And so Bond is just a normal ass dog, but he gets glimpses of the future that Anya, because she can read minds, can see the glimpses of the future and actually act on them, which is like some cool synergy there. So I liked all of that. I thought that was very cute.
I liked when she tried to read the dog's mind to learn about the future, and he like saw hamburger steak, and she got excited about the hamburger steak and forgot about everything else.
Like, are you making hamburger steak? And he was like, oh, did you look in the I am making hamburger steak. And then it was what is her name at the very end? This
Nightfall?
Nightfall, this like love rival.
Mm-hmm.
She was very obvious to me. Like, it was really obvious where it was going when she was introduced for me. Did you guys feel that way?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
When she showed up, I was like, this chick's gonna be in love with Twilight and really pissed that he has this cute ass family. And that's what we got.
Figure out
Anya,
what's going on here.
And Anya freaking out about the whole thing of she can't let this lady become her mama.
Yeah, and being like, oh, mama, I just love you so much. I want to be with you and daddy forever. And everybody being like, what are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, it was all very cute.
Mm-hmm.
I am curious. So a manga that, not in terms of like things that happen in it, but a manga that this like kind of reminded me of and how it made me feel is Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. And I keep wondering, in the same way that I wondered with Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and I was like, where is that gonna go? I'm also wondering where this is going to wind up going, because again, they've established like all of this potentially serious stuff, and I'm wondering if it's going to go more and more in the direction of serious, or if it's going to be able to balance the comedy throughout.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna have to go serious, like really serious at some point. And we've seen like glimpses of how they handle the serious stuff, like in the dog arc, where Anya like is trying to save her dad so he doesn't get blown up, right?
Yeah.
So I think that even though it'll get really serious, because the whole thing is about brokering peace between two countries, you know, it's a big deal. I think that they're gonna find a way to maintain that balance with the humor, and I'm pretty confident that while it will probably get really serious, I don't think it'll lose sight of what the manga is trying to do. You get me? Like sometimes tonal shifts completely derail the quality of a story, and I'm not really worried about a shift in tone like really affecting the manga in this way. Kind of like how in Full Metal Alchemist, it's really funny at times, and then it gets extremely serious, but then it shifts back to being funny, and it works.
Right.
But, like, this is obviously nowhere near as serious as FMA, but
the stakes, yeah,
the stakes are significantly lower, but it still oscillates between the two tones, and it does so in a way that feels very natural for the story.
Yeah, and you're right. It's probably a good sign that we have learned things about the world and what's going on from the get-go. It's probably a good sign that the mangaka does have a plan for the direction. So that's good as well. Moeka, how do you feel?
I'm looking up to see if the manga has done anything else that's
that's a good idea.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, I'd be really interested if this is like their first. I'm interested in seeing. I just want to know how this will end, because it's like, I mean, it's like they're a pretend family, so I'm really interested in if it's gonna be like, oh, they love each other in like a familial way, so they don't want to separate, and so they're going to continue being this fake family, or if it's going to be, okay, the gang's broken up now, and here's what they like fuck off to do.
Right.
So I'm really interested in how this will go, because I feel like it can only keep this structure up short term. I don't think it could be something that's done long term. Otherwise, I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, okay, where is this going?
It can't just be like now. Repetitive hijinks. Like yeah. I think it feels like maybe the last 10 chapters or so, even with the dog, even the stuff with the dog didn't really like progress what's going on in the major story. Aside from them being like, we need to keep Anya happy. Anya wants a dog. Well, fuck. Right? And like, somehow we got all wrapped up in this weird dog ring, this dog bomb thing. But in terms of like progressing the story with her at school, like excelling or not excelling, I feel like we didn't get a whole lot of that.
I mean, yeah, I'll agree that not a lot of progression has happened, but I feel like a lot of what feels like could be filler is tied to the story. So the reason why she wants a dog is so she can have a stronger connection with little angsty boy,
right?
And then use
that's
that.
True. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
So it's like I feel like everything is in service of the plot, but it feels like there hasn't been much progress between her and the boy, you know, like apart from the fact that from the very beginning you can tell he has a crush.
Yeah,
there's been no
he doesn't realize it though either, because they're 6, right? He's just like, she's annoying and she sucks and she makes my heart beat really fast and I hate her. Ew.
like the only real advancement that we've had in at least the last few chapters is the boy saying, you know, at least to himself or thinking that his dad doesn't really care about him.
Yeah.
So how effective really is this plan?
Right. That's what I keep wondering as well, is they've definitely made it clear like he is not the favorite child, right? So yeah, like, is he really the correct vehicle to try and get close to the dad? I don't know, but like obviously the big theme in this manga is family. So I feel like all of that is going to have at least like there's going to be some kind of depth and payoff there in them establishing so much like that they are not very close. But what I was going to say is I adore that we had that whole dog arc. I totally forgot about this until you said that. We had this whole dog arc. She goes to school. She tells her best friend, who, like, by the way, is like such a sweetheart and like wants so badly to just hang out with Anya, and Anya just like ignores her all the time to try and like do the mission. But the scene of her like chasing after him out into the hallway and being like, I got a dog, and he's like, okay.
Cool.
Like, it was so funny to
And
me.
then what's its name?
Yeah, dog.
And then
Aw.
you're not fit to own a pet.
Yeah.
She tried so hard.
She, you know, she
And for it to
does.
pay off that
There's
way.
so much on her
Yeah.
little shoulders. And no one, because nobody knows she's a telepath, nobody realizes that she gets, like, what the stakes are. Like, that's so much stress for a 6-year-old.
Yeah. Also, it is funny you bring up like that Twilight's plan to get Anya and Damien to be friends is like maybe was not the most well thought out plan, and that might be because he's really bad with children.
But wasn't that was his mission, though, right? Or no. His mission was to get her to excel enough in school that when all of the parents are supposed to meet of the, like, elite kids. But that also is accompanied with the assumption that either of his sons would be one of the elites.
Yeah. Well, because the
Well,
older one is an
Damien-
elite.
Yeah, Damien has an older brother, and
Right.
he's an elite. So I think that it may not be like age restricted. So like all the parents, regardless of the ages of their children, network that way.
Yeah.
But I think that it's great that he didn't like hyper fixate on this plan, and instead came up with a backup plan. And that because like he understands like the limits of what Anya can manage, because you know, her testing performance shows that no, she's not excelling in school.
Mm.
And that's okay. Like, I appreciate that. And especially that it was that was like, oh, you can't push her like that.
Yeah. Oh, they're so cute. I want more chapters. I'm mad that we read everything that's out. I'm mad about it. I'm very delighted that we read it, though. Should we talk about art a little bit?
Yeah.
How did you guys
Yeah.
feel about the art? Like, zero same face syndrome, which was so nice.
Yeah.
I like the art a lot. Mainly Anya's reaction faces, and like when the art like really focuses on something significant or some sort of impact, it always conveys like so much energy, and it usually looks really good. Like the image that I'm using for me is
Yes.
pretty great. I really like that one. Or when when Yor does anything really, like when she slaps her brother, when
the
she kicks the
movement
cow or whatever.
is so good. Yeah.
Yeah. All that's pretty great.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the balance between like, oh, it's a soft, wholesome which again for me is like a reminder of like a Kobayashi thing, but like the soft wholesome vibe that seamlessly flows into like, no, it's terrifying action shit for a couple of panels and then we're back, you know, and it like works somehow. Is really cool. I love that. I think it's really effective.
I feel like this manga would work really well for or as storyboards for an anime. Like, you know how sometimes like you can tell that things have to change in like how a manga is presented, so it makes sense as an anime. I feel like it wouldn't need that much change to work if it was ever adapted. Like the whole scene where Anya's like imagining going with her mom to work, and it's her mom or you're like slaughtering a bunch of people and then the blood splattering onto her face. Like I can picture how that would be animated, and it would look like they wouldn't have to change any of the shots at all.
How about you, Moeka?
I love the like when we do get colored pages. I love the coloring of this.
You do.
It's so pretty. It's like it's soft. It's wholesome. It's just wholesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the art a lot. It's really effective for what it's trying to do. It's not like when it needs to be like detailed to show off like architecture, it does that, and then when it needs to be more simple, then the artists will definitely just like do like either really minimal back work, and then the focus will be on the characters, which is really nice. So everything's pretty easy to follow. I think I noticed that with yours fight scenes specifically, because there's a lot of action there when she's like throwing knives or kicking people in the face or just straight up murdering someone.
Yeah. As humanely as possible. She established. Yes. She doesn't like to make them suffer. She knows how to swiftly kill a guy.
Oh, speaking of killing a guy,
yes.
Anya almost blowing someone up and almost fucking killing them.
Oh my god. That whole so that whole thing, I was like, what on earth, Anya? That chapter felt like so out of the blue for me. That whole thing. Just the idea of her like listening to his thoughts about how to make the bomb, and then her like making the bomb before he could. I was like, I can't suspend it. I can't suspend my imagination this far. I can't do it.
Oh, and then no one noticing that the bomb went off.
Yeah. Unreal. It was fine. It ended very cute.
I mean, it ended with the poison wearing off and you're being very uncomfortable because of a gunshot wound in the butt.
Yeah, I couldn't understand at first. Like, for the first half of the chapter, I was like, is the bullet still in her butt? I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
I think she somehow removed the bullet, but, you know, that she still has a gunshot wound in her butt, so. But yeah, at first I was like, is she just like chilling with a bullet in her butt? Is that why this hurts so bad? But to be honest, I've never been shot in the butt, so I don't know what it's like to try and like sit after you've been shot in the butt. So. Anyway.
I would imagine it would hurt quite a bit. Just saying.
Cool. Do you guys have anything else that you wanted to bring up that we didn't wind up talking about?
No, I think I'm good.
No, I think, yeah.
I want more.
Me too.
I want more.
So cute.
I'm glad this is like a simulpub and not like like manga release issue only, because holy moly, I love this so much.
I know.
Can't wait for more.
I'm gonna have to do the thing though where I wait at least a month and then read a couple chapters at a time, because I hate with stuff like this where it's just like a chicken nugget and it's gone. Like I hate reading those every week, because then I'm like, fuck, it's already over. I'm mad.
That's a great analogy, Dodger. I'm gonna use that one going forward.
But yeah, I adored it. I guess we can easily just go into final thoughts, ratings, if you've got a rating.
I'll go ahead and I'll go.
Sure.
All right. So, I really enjoyed the manga. I thought the family dynamic was super wholesome and funny. I think the overall plot is a little too vague for me. I would like to know like what exactly the stakes are involved in the mission. Like, I feel like that would add a little bit more weight to the story. But that aside, I still think that the plot itself is a pretty great framework to get some quality interactions out of the characters. So I would have to say that this is like maybe an 8.5, almost a 9 out of 10 for me. I really genuinely enjoyed this manga more than I anticipated. Now, if it starts, my concern is, and I said it earlier, that I'm pretty confident that it can manage its balancing its tone between serious and funny, because it's proven to do so far. But if it loses sight of the plot and it just starts to meander for a while, my score would go down. Or if
it gets repetitive,
if it gets too serious,
if
it gets too serious and it loses sight of the comedy, which is really the highlight of the story for me, then my score would also drop. But for what we read, I think like an 8.5 is a fair score.
Yeah, I was gonna give it an 8. I really, really liked it. I'm just like Lou. I was shocked, honestly, that I liked it as much as I did. That I'm like rooting for this family so hard, and I just like want this little girl to succeed and have this family. Like, they establish in the story that she's been like adopted out or fostered out and then returned like over and over and over and over again. And I just want them to all love each other. It's just so sweet. Yeah, I would give it an 8. I really enjoyed it. I was really surprised by it, and I'm chomping at the bit for more, and there's no more to read. So I guess I'll die. Moeka?
Oh my god. I give this, for me, this is a solid 8 out of 10. I really liked all the characters. I love them. Twilight. I understand how our new operative feels. I also want to usurp your in being Twilight. I loved the series. I love all the characters. I'm really interested in seeing where it goes, or like how it ends. So I'm interested in how this goes. Apparently this is a like bi-monthly
I know,
manga,
somebody said that.
So it's no. I cried.
It's okay, we'll read it for MangaPod next year. Actually, no, that might not be enough chapters.
Might not be enough chapters, honestly, if it's bi-monthly,
Yeah. I cried just a little. But it's really solid. I really like all the characters. I'm a character person, and I just love them all.
Yep. I do too.
Oh wait, actually, I wanted to bring up the like little extra chapter where Bond fucks up Agent Penguin.
Oh my god, I actually
jealous.
I loved that chapter. It was so cute.
I loved it.
And then
so good.
And then Twilight sews it up and is like, he was on a mission and he has scars now. It's like
it's so good.
Oh, and we completely didn't talk about Daybreak.
Oh my god.
Oh
the
my
shitty
god,
spy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Can you hire a
So
spy for 2 months worth of allowance? And the guy was like, sure can.
Oh my god. I mean, yeah, I'm really interested in seeing like if he returns.
Me too.
I
I hope he does.
Because yeah.
I feel like
It was so dumb.
He's so dumb. But that is one thing about like the number of chapters that we read. Like as many characters as were introduced for 30 chapters. They introduced a lot of characters that I'm hoping are going to be utilized a bit better, like going forward, or that they weren't just like a throwaway, like here's a goof. You know, I would love it if stuff like continued to intermingle and like be important.
Someone said, I want Daybreak to meet Nightfall. Oh my god.
Oh my god. OTP.
Oh my god.
OTP. That's the one. The crack ship. It's in.
Oh my god, yeah.
Amazing. Cool. Yeah. We all recommend it. We all loved it. We hope that if you stuck around and you spoiled the shit out of yourself by staying here, that you'll still go and read it, because it's honestly like just so delightful and absolutely worth your time. Lou is going to read the summary for the manga that we're reading next week, but he's going to omit certain keywords, and it is up to you, dear viewer at home, to guess what manga it is. Go for it, Lou.
Cool. Blank is an only child living a mundane life. Just like any middle schooler, he has friends, a crush on a girl, and loving parents. However, Blank's mother is extremely overprotective, which causes others to view him as a mama's boy. There's a whole other paragraph, but I'm not reading it because it spoils too much.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Any guesses? Lou recommended this one and literally told Moeka and I not to look up anything about it. So
yeah.
So I'm not doing it.
It is not Yamcha
Don't
Isekai.
spoil
We've
me.
actually already read Yamcha Isekai, and we did that on our first MangaPod luck, I think.
We did. Yeah. So yes, it is Trail of Blood. Good job.
Nice.
So the Japanese title is Chino Wadachi. And I heard about this through a video that Super Eye Patch Wolf did, and it looks super interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and be excited for that one, because it seems pretty hype.
Can you tell us if this is like a more mature-y manga?
So it's a psychological thriller.
All right. Cool. Just so that we have like an idea.
Psychological thriller, some horror bits, but yeah, it's mainly that. Kind of adulty.
Interesting. Okay. Buckle up, MangaPod. All right. Well.
All right.
Cool. Thank you all so much for watching MangaPod today. We're going to go one at a time and shout out our stuff and where you can find us, and then give you an idea of all of the lovely things MangaPod has to offer. First off, I would love to tell you all about Erin, our sweet, wonderful leader. Erin, you can find at Happily Erin on pretty much everything. She's currently writing a novel and crushing at it. But her YouTube channel, you can find all of the MangaPods that have ever been. And she does mental health awareness stuff, and she talks about Thai dramas, and, you know, she's got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, and she's lovely, and we adore her. So please go and say hi to her. I'm Dodger. You can find me at DexBonus on pretty much everything. I'm a variety gamer and streamer, and I talk about my kid a lot, and that's basically what I have to offer. So if you'd like to come and hang out, I stream almost every day, and I would love for you to come say hi. So, Lou.
All right, so my name's Lou, and you can find me on Twitter at Lou Talks Anime. And yeah, I am still trying. Like, I was gonna start streaming, but I've been having issues with my PC where it's overheating because a couple fans have broken. So I'm trying to get that sorted.
No, dude.
It sucks, but
That sucks,
it is what it
yeah.
is. But yeah, I do want to get into streaming. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
More
when
chess.
I do that, but
More chess. More
Probably,
chess.
like the anime community has gone really into playing chess lately.
I know they have. When I saw that, I was
Yeah.
like, this feels like Lou's influence, like a year
Yeah,
late, just
yeah, if there's-
accepting people.
I was, just like the hipster shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
before
yeah.
everyone else. But I'm just gonna plug my friend Bill, his stream, Peppered Ham. Bill is a great streamer, like low key, hilarious, and I highly, highly, highly recommend because he's a good dude, and I have a lot of fun watching his streams. He's making his dad play Yakuza,
Oh my god.
and it's
That's great.
pretty amazing. Yeah, so twitch.tv/Peppered Ham.
He's been on MangaPod before. He's delightful.
Yes, he's one of the homies. He's great, and that's it.
Moeka?
All right. Hello, I'm Moeka. I have recently turned into a 2D VTuber, V-streamer,
Yay!
waifu. If you want to watch me fail at video games, feel free to check me out at Mega Moeka on pretty much all social medias. I just want to apologize if I was super quiet today, because today is one of those boy sleep days. To reiterate, I love Twilight. I'll fuck up anyone who tries to take him from me.
Oh my god, I thought you were talking about the book series because everybody's been like all up on the asshole of like the new Twilight book. And I thought you just out of the blue were like, yeah, and also I'll fight anybody who doesn't like the Twilight books. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I was like, damn, this is a weird note to end on, but I'm proud of Moeka for standing her ground.
She's very passionate about her interests.
I guess so. Amazing. Yeah, check out these lovely humans and digital humans. You're welcome. I wanted to acknowledge you for how you are front facing currently. But we have a Discord now. I wanted to make sure that I took the time to say that. Moeka worked her butt off and made a MangaPod Discord. We're trying to like move a lot of the utility of Reddit over to the Discord because we all use it. And it'll hopefully like encourage a bit more like in community discussion and stuff. So if you are interested, I can't grab an invite link, but if one of you guys can and throw it in chat, that would be amazing. If I try to grab it, it'll ruin the cameras.
Oh,
so I can't do it. But
can.
but if anybody is interested, I think Moeka is gonna grab an invite link and throw it in chat. If anybody would like to join it, yeah, just to talk about manga and all that stuff. There's a channel in there, I think, that Moeka made that will let you opt in to be pinged when MangaPod happens and stuff like that. So yeah. There's an Instagram and a Twitter and all that good stuff. And it was all made and run by Moeka. So
Yay!
thank you, Moeka, for legitimizing us.
Moeka's so professional.
So
She's come a long
professional.
way
I'm
since being
trying.
our social media manager. It's great.
Yeah. Can
so
I also
proud.
say it's delightful to hear Lou's voice again? Yay!
Yay!
Lou, we miss you when
Right,
you're gone.
I'm gonna do my best. I'll
Look,
try.
real life is most important, but we're delighted when you are here. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you all very much again for watching. We will see you next Sunday around the same time. Reading blood stuff.
Chino Warachi, volumes 1 through 4, chapters 1 through 31.
Blood stuff.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.